What's up, you guys? Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Jess, and in case you're living under a rock, it is finally October, the month we have all been waiting for, the time where it is actually socially acceptable to love all things spooky, creepy, and scary. And today, I wanted to kick October off with a little bit of a bang. In case you have ever been curious about my name on YouTube, Discount Final Girl, it is kind of a play on words, which I thought was cute and quirky and fun and new. And I thought that up until somebody called me Discount Girl. If you have ever heard of the discount version of, a popular item, store brand, Walmart brand, if you will, basically store brand Sydney Prescott. Not a top tier final girl, but I'll get the job done. And to kick off the start of everyone's favorite month, I thought it'd be fitting to sit down and talk about my favorite and not so favorite final girls from any movie that I could think of virtually. I have a list of about 20 or so. I think I really narrowed it down. I think I did a good job. I'll give myself a pat on the back for that.
Nice work, Jess.
So yeah, I'll start that in just a sec. But before I do, I just want to say these are my rankings. It's all personal. All subjective, just like horror. So if you have a different ranking than mine, please leave it below. I'm so curious to see what you guys think. Thanks again, you guys. Let's jump right in. All right, you guys. So I have pulled up just like the standard tier ranking website. And of course, we have to begin with naming our tiers. So the top, the tippity top, this is going to be my holy grail god tier iconic badass final girls. So the biggest compliment that I could give them is that I would want them to be on my zombie apocalypse A team. These are the girlies that are going to kill all the zombies and retake the world for the humans. These are girls that I would trust with my life, with other people's lives, and that I think would just kill anything and everything and come out on top. Those are my top final girls. The one below that is going to be Please Punch Me in the Face. While these girls are right on the edge of making my A team, I feel like there's got to be a boundary somewhere. So these are girls that I still absolutely love, absolutely adore, but something is holding me back from putting them in that top tier spot. Okay, next we are going to have We Support Women's Wrongs. These are going to be the final girls that survived, of course, but only took a few steps to get there. That may be one scene at the end where they redeem themselves and come back. But I wouldn't necessarily let them punch me in the face or put them on my A team. You know what I mean? So these are kind of they're just mid. Okay, second to last is I think you just got lucky. Okay, there are a lot of final girls out there that at the end of the movie, I'll sit there and just think, you got lucky as fuck, basically. You made a spur of the moment decision. It played out. You were lucky because of the circumstances. You were lucky because you had other people helping you kind of cope with your situation and help you figure out what to do next. So these are girlies that I appreciate you, but I feel like the circumstances really were just in your favor. Last and probably least, in my opinion, these are going to be the flop girls. These are girls that I do not really like, I don't vibe with. And while I like all of these movies that are on this list for the most part, these are girls that I do not think should be held to that final girl standard. I just see them as kind of not necessarily weak, but not having any redeeming qualities for me to move them any higher on the list. Okay, these are our tiers. I'm really happy with how I kind of have these laid out. Our first final girl is Miss Adelaide Wilson from Us. I watched a lot of other tier ranking videos, and a really good point was brought up is this Adelaide also spoilers for the majority of these movies? I'm sorry, but Adelaide, is she really Adelaide? Or is she Red? Or how do we feel about that situation? I feel like this is Red, and Red made a conscious decision to get herself out of a bad spot. And now she has integrated into the world of the normal people and have gotten away from the doppelgangers. So I respect that. I also, respect the fact that at the end when she's confronted with the real Adelaide, she fought for what, she wanted. She fought for her family. So while I don't know if I'd ask her to punch me in the face, I support her wrongs because she did what she had to do, and I'm here for it. One thing that I did want to kind of call to your attention is look out for the amount of Black women or people of color on this list, because there's not a lot. I think it really speaks on the issue of the majority of final girls being white women, and while they're iconic in their own right, I think we really need to open our eyes and realize that there's an issue of casting people of color for leading lady roles. So just wanted to point that out to you. Next, we have, Alice Hardy from Friday the 13th. Now listen, Alice is a really tough one with me because for the majority of Friday the 13th, I feel like she just got lucky. I feel like, the circumstances played out in her favor, and while she did, fight back in certain scenarios, a lot of it was just running and hiding, and I would definitely do the same exact thing if I was put in that position. So I initially wanted to put her in I think you just got lucky, but the end scene with her in that final matchup with Pamela Voorhees, the fact that she fought back and the fact that she did it in such like a badass way, I'm gonna move her to we support women's wrongs. I don't know if people would rank her higher than that. I feel like she is a great character, but Friday the 13th isn't necessarily my franchise. I love it, but I feel like she redeemed herself in the end with that kill. All right, next we have Clear Rivers from Final Destination. Clear, I don't think she necessarily got lucky because everything about that movie is just unlucky. So I'm gonna put her in flop girls. I love Final Destination. I like the franchise as a whole, but Clear as a character really bugged me. And usually I'm all about the brooding female character who is against the world and da-da-da-da and comes out on top. But I feel like her character was just, I don't know, it lacked depth. Her performance was fine, but she's just not one that stands out for me. And yeah, you're a flop, girl. Moving on. We have, Miss Danny from Midsummer. Danny was dealt a shit hand. This poor woman has been through it all and just was looking for a place to belong. So she didn't, I guess you could argue that the end decision with Christian, you can, and you can't blame her for that because what else was she gonna do? I support her wrong. I support your wrong. I'm glad you're happy, even though cultish behavior and cultish brainwashing is not something to romanticize. She deserves happiness however she can get it. So I support your wrong, support your decision. That's where you'll live for this video, at least. Next, we have, Ellen Ripley. Ellen Ripley, my shining star, my tippity top. Ellen Ripley is the person that I aspire to be in life. I think she is the pinnacle of final girl excellence. She's a badass. She's extremely smart, very talented. I don't know what else to say other than if you would not have Ripley on your zombie apocalypse A-team, something's not right here, and we need to fix that. Love her. Moving on. Emerald Haywood, M from Nope. I put her on here a few days ago just because I feel like she definitely qualifies as a final girl. She was put through all of these series of events that did not go in her way, and in the end she made some really smart decisions that played out for her. But the thing is, I don't think she got lucky because her brother was the one to kind of put two and two together with Jean Jacket, but she did make some really smart decisions with the cameras, and that was kind of all her. I feel like she was kind of the mastermind behind a lot of things, and while OJ, saw what he saw and he's the hero at the end of the story, I think Emerald Haywood, Kiki, you can punch me in the face. Our first punch me in the face invitation goes to Emerald Haywood. Come on, girl, I'm waiting. Next, Erin Harson goes to the top, tippity top. Erin Harson, she's trained for this literally her entire life. It's pretty self-explanatory. Your Next is such a fantastic movie. This movie really helped define the 2010s, bring back that slasher, almost comedy-esque drama that was very tension filled but had a good amount of depth. This character is just so likable. I would be honored to have her on my A team. She's not going anywhere else. So up next we have Miss Gail Weathers. Miss Gail Weathers is a final girl, of course. She's a final girl, okay? She has survived every scenario that life has thrown at her. And for that, she can punch me in the face. Gail, I'm gonna let you get your revenge on Sydney. I'll take Sydney's revenge, okay? She punched you in the face. Now you get to punch me in the face, and I'll take it. You probably need to get out some of that rage from the last movie anyways. I know I would. Moving on. Ooh, Grace Ladomas. Listen, I don't know what it is about this character, but I love her. The events of Ready or Not were just the start of her villain era. Her sitting on those steps, drenched in blood, smoking a cigarette, I would have done anything for her in that moment, so obviously I have to add her to my A-team. I think the events of that movie made her lose her mind, and I think she would be up for any challenge that a zombie could throw at her. Also, can you think of her and Aaron together? Are you kidding me? BFFs. I need that energy while the world is being consumed by zombies. So, okay, next, Jay Height from It Follows. This one is going to be a little tough because she didn't really, I can't say she didn't fight back because that pool scene, and she really tried to save a lot of people, but in the end, I think she just got lucky. I think that she had a lot of like clues, and there were a lot of people who experienced the same thing that she was experiencing. She learned how to pass it on from somebody else, and she had her friends and Paul there to support her the whole entire time. She didn't do it on her own. So while I like her character, and obviously I love It Follows, it's one of my favorite movies of the past 10 years, I don't think her character reaches above that luck level for me. Yeah, I'm gonna leave her there. Okay, next. Jess Bradford from Black Christmas. Listen, you want to talk about the OG iconic final girl? It's Jess Bradford. I'm not taking any questions on that matter. Jess is everything that I think a final girl embodies. She is intelligent. She is a feminist. She wants her life the way that she wants it. She doesn't want anyone else to tell her what to do and how to do it. And I love her for that. I think she is a very, very, very strong female character. And for that, I would happily let her punch me in the face. I don't know if she's up there in my A team. I don't think the level of brutality is up there just yet, but I would let her punch me in the face. Alrighty, up next we have Julie James from I Know What You Did Last Summer. This one's tough because, in my opinion, Helen Shivers is much more of an interesting character than Julie James. She just kind of like wet noodled her way through the movie, and I think she just got lucky. I do. I think her character just annoys me a little bit. Yeah, she had Ray. She kind of had these clues. She didn't necessarily do anything that put her on the level of like violence, I guess. She didn't do anything wrong. She did do stuff wrong, but she had a really strong moral compass. We stand Helen in this house. Ooh, Laurie Strode. Okay, listen. I know that in the first movie, and second movie she learned, in H2O, badass. Badass in H2O, badass in the Blumhouse trilogy. I gotta put Laurie up there because she's Laurie, alright? If Homegirl can go up against Michael Myers and somehow live for now, I'm gonna let her take on those zombies, okay? Something about her just has that whatever. And I want it on my team. I can't not just put Laurie up there. The OG Halloween is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love her character. I love her character progression. I am going to put her on my A-team. Yeah, she deserves to be there. Another one of our icons down. Let's move to the next. We have Maddie Young from Hush. Maddie is such an interesting character. I really like this movie. A few things fall flat for me, but at the end of the day, I'm a huge fan of Mike Flanagan. I don't know. I mean, she fought back. She made decisions, but only because she had to. If I put Danny in We Support Women's Wrongs, I gotta put Maddie in We Support Women's Wrongs, okay? If you aren't aware of what happens in Hush, it is about a deaf woman, Maddie, and this man who is breaking into her home trying to kill her. And it's a really interesting movie in the fact that a lot of the sound is muffled and muted to kind of put you into Maddie's shoes. And I love that decision. I think it's really interesting and clever. But her as a character you know, she's very intelligent, she's smart, but she didn't reach that level of violence that I was kind of yearning for. She did what she had to do to survive, and I appreciate her for that. So, moving on. Ooh, Miss Maxine Minx. I gotta be famous, Ray. I love her. I would happily ask her to punch me in the face. I would thank her. X is one of my favorite horror movies of 2022, and I really love the character of Maxine Minx. I really appreciate the fact that she starts the movie with the same mission and mindset, and she ends the movie with the same mission and mindset. She's gonna be famous no matter what. She's gonna take out whoever needs to be taken out to get there. Yeah, we see her in the end just kind of flip and just go ham on Pearl, and I appreciate that. I love that. I think she reached that level of violence for me, and she's a badass. So, open invitation, girly. All right, next. Mia Allen. You know I gotta put her in Zombie Apocalypse A-Team. It'd be stupid to put her anywhere else. Mia is from the Evil Dead remake and is actually one of my favorite final girls of all time. This character is so well fleshed out, is so deep. There are so many layers to her personality and her reasonings behind things, and I absolutely love that. We see her come full circle by the end of this movie, and I'm just gonna shove a chainsaw in her hand and expect to be rained on with gallons and gallons of blood by the end of the apocalypse. So happily we'll have her join my team. I love Mia. Next, Millie from Freaky. I gotta add her. People keep like dissing Millie, and while it's like not the greatest movie, I still really enjoyed it. I think it's super fun, and I think you have to acknowledge Millie's character arc in the movie, you know, that ending. But I have to put her in. I think you just got lucky because she had such a strong support system with her. If she didn't have her two friends and other people kind of like helping her along the way, she would not have beaten the Butcher. So yeah, I have to put her there, but I think she's a really fun character, and I know this picture is like technically the Butcher, but it's just really cute, okay? Next we have Nancy Thompson. Nancy Thompson's going to the top of my list. I have a bone to pick. I feel like a lot of people don't like Nancy, or just like don't appreciate Nancy as a character, and maybe it's because I love Nightmare on Elm Street. It's one of my favorite franchises, but whether or not it's Nancy Thompson or Heather Langenkamp, Nancy's really smart, okay? She's really smart, she's really caring, she's really strong, and that's all I need in a top tier final girl, okay? Could you imagine Nancy and Ripley together? Like making plans? We're gonna survive anything. Justice for Nancy Thompson. I love her. I think she's fantastic, and in my opinion, one of the best final girls of all time. Okay, next we have Needy Lesnecki. Needy can punch me right in the face. I'd probably die, but I'd still ask her to do it. I love Needy's character arc in Jennifer's Body. I think she kind of turns from this overlooked, overshadowed best friend of the most popular girl in school, obviously, and really kind of comes to her own, especially by the end of that movie when she breaks out of that prison and just absolutely massacres the band that started everything. That's like a core memory for me. Watching that the first time and just like, yes, 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 yes. That's all that I wanted, and I got it. It's her world, we're just living in it. I love Needy. I think she's such a cool character. I want to see her on more people's lists. Next, Rachel Keller from The Ring. Rachel Keller is a flop. Famously, I don't like the Ring movie. It's just not my cup of tea, and that's totally fine. It's all right. All right? It's all right if people don't like things. I just don't think she is a good character. I think there's a lot of conflict within her, and that's the way that she was supposed to be portrayed, okay? Like, she's not supposed to be this, like, redeeming character. She would do anything to protect her son, and I appreciate that, but I just didn't click with her character. I really didn't necessarily like her character. She's a flop, girl. Next, we have Sam from Scream 5. Sam is a flop girl, and I just want to make it very clear, I liked Scream 5. I thought it was fine. In my mind, it's not canon, just because I am the most massive fan of the original movies. I didn't like the take on this character, and I'm not bashing Melissa Barrera whatsoever. I think she's a beautiful, wonderful person, but her performance in this movie just did not cut it for me. I just didn't think it was on the level of some other characters, Jenna Ortega mainly, but I thought it was okay, and a lot of people appreciate it. That's all that matters, but for me, she's not anything iconic. So I'm going to leave her with Clear and Rachel, and I'm sure they're gonna have a great time together. Next, we have Sally Hardesty from Texas Chainsaw. Now, she's going in. I like the Texas Chainsaw franchise. I really like the first movie and the commentary and the, messages behind it. But I never really clicked with Sally. I don't think she's a flop just because, that end scene and yeah, I mean, I think she just got lucky. She just got lucky, okay? She did nothing to put her in those upper levels. I don't want to say I see her as weak. I just don't see her as strong as some other characters on this list. So I'm going to put her in I think you just got lucky. She's not a flop because I understand her character. I would act the same way if I were put in that position. Okay, I mean, I think anyone would. I think people would voluntarily die if they were put in that position. So she's strong in my eyes for pulling through to the end and still pushing to escape. She didn't do anything to make it above that level. And I know that's controversial or whatever because people put her on the top of their lists, but for me, this is she just got lucky. Next, we have Sarah Carter from The Descent. Sarah Carter can punch me in the face, okay? This woman has been through hell and back. UK ending version aside, whatever, she's still a final girl. She still has to make some really, really, really tough decisions, and at the end of the day, she makes a decision that I think we're all rooting for. The Descent is one of the few movies that scares me upon rewatch every single time just because it's so claustrophobic. But Sarah as a character, I really appreciate her decision making and her will to live even though life has just dealt her a bad hand. So she can punch me in the face. She's earned it. Okay, out of anyone on this list, she's earned that right. Okay, next up we have Sarah Connor from Terminator. I don't see Sarah Connor added on a lot of people's lists, and I understand that there's conversation about whether Terminator is a horror movie or not. I fall into the camp of, from Sarah Connor's view, from her experience, it is a horror movie, if that makes sense. She's a final girl, and I'm gonna put her there. Let me know what you think. Do you think she's a final girl? Do you think Terminator's a horror movie? I know that's maybe a little controversial, but I'm interested to see because I didn't see her on a lot of other people's lists. But she's gonna be on my A team. Are you kidding? Terminator 2, homegirl goes off, okay? Her and Ripley together, we can take on the world, baby. All right, next we have Miss Sydney Prescott. Listen, Sydney goes right to the top, and that's because she has been through the same situation however many times, and she still comes back. Okay? In this past movie, she was in a whole nother, I think she was on the other side of the fucking country. Maybe not, but maybe she was in another state. Who knows? She came back and willingly put herself in that situation because she knew that she could beat Ghostface. She was confident in herself, and that's all that I need. I need that confidence, okay? Everyone needs that confidence. And I don't know why people wouldn't put her higher on their list, and I don't know why she would be anywhere else on this list, okay? Sydney is rational, she's smart, she makes good decisions, and she willingly puts herself back into tough and harrowing positions because she's confident in the fact that she can beat it, and I love that. Next up, we have Thomasin from The Witch. I know a lot of people probably don't consider her a final girl, but I do, and I support her wrongs. Even though she necessarily didn't do anything wrong, it's just that final decision that Black Phillip gives her, and the fact that she says yes and is taking these steps to be a witch, and I love that. I think she deserves that after the life that she's been through. So yeah, I support her wrong, and I love this character. Last, we have Tree from Happy Death Day. Now, I had never been a Happy Death Day person. I thought the movie was fine. I thought it was cute, kind of in the same camp as Freaky for me. I like Freaky a little bit more. But this was a good movie, and she does have her redemption arc. She learns that the person that she was before just isn't gonna cut it anymore, and I'm not gonna put her in flop, but I am gonna put her in I think you just got lucky, just because there are things that kind of help guide her the direction that she needs to go. At the end of the day, I didn't really connect with her character as much as I wanted to, so I think she just got lucky. All right, you guys, this is my final tier list. What do you guys think? I'm really happy with this, so I'm just gonna do a final run through one last time. On my zombie apocalypse A team, we have, oh, where'd I go? There I am. On my zombie apocalypse A team, we're beating the whole apocalypse. We're thriving during this time, all right? We have Ripley, Aaron Harson, Grace Ladomas, Laurie Strode, Mia Allen, Nancy Thompson, Sarah Connor, and Sydney Prescott. I am so pleased with that lineup. Yeah, we can defeat anything, baby, and probably some zombie aliens because God fucking knows with Ripley. Please punch me in the face. These are the final girls that I have an open invitation to come and punch me in the face at any time that they choose. So we have M. Haywood, Gail Weathers, Jess Bradford, Maxine Minks, Needy Lesnecki, and Sarah Carter from The Descent. They all deserve it, okay? I'm ready. We support women's wrongs. We have Adelaide Wilson, Alice Hardy, Danny, Maddie Young, and Thomason from The Witch. I Think You Just Got Lucky, Jay, Julie James, Millie, Sally Hardesty, and Tree. Does anyone know, like, the reasoning behind that name? I'm just really, really curious, but moving on. Flop Girls, we have Clear Rivers, Rachel Keller, and Sam from Scream 5. Yeah, I'm really fucking pleased with myself. I did a good job. Do you guys think that I missed anyone? Knowing myself, I probably overlooked somebody like extremely important, but I think I did good. Who would you change? Who would you move around? Let me know. I'm interested. I think this is a really cool idea. I love making these lists. I want to do more and more and more. So if you have any ideas on what I could do in the future, let me know. But for now, this is my final girl ranking. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, but it would really make my day if you hit that subscribe button. Thanks again, you guys. Happy October. Stay creepy.